This video may cause an extreme addiction to Pokemon cards. If you don't have the money to buy some, it may cause you to be aggressive from time to time. Be careful. Thank you, come again. What's up YouTube, it's ZapdosTCG here, and just like last time I've put in the warning intro at the start because it really has a nice touch to it and some people find it hilarious as well. So if you have any funny ideas for a new unique saying at the intro, please feel free to PM me and maybe I'll include it in the next episode. Anyway, in this episode we'll be checking out Celebi Prime. Wait, that's an old card. Why are we checking out that card now? Well, that's pretty easy to explain. In the past, Celebi Prime wasn't that good because it had a horrible attack and it just wasn't that useful for energy acceleration, but now we have SkyArrow Bridge. That changes everything. But let us look at Celebi Prime first. This card doesn't look that special if you're first looking at the card because it's weak. It only has 60 HP and no resistance whatsoever. So why is it so good? Well, it's because of his nice Poke Power that lets you attach a grass energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon if he's on your active spot. So you have energy acceleration on your side, and I already tested this deck out and it works really good if you have 4 Celebi Primes in your deck. That way the chance of starting with Celebi Prime is much higher, and I'll explain why starting with Celebi Prime is so good in a second. But first, let us check out his attack that deals 30 damage for 3 energies. Wow, that's terrible. Yeah, it sure is, but it does have a side effect. It states, during your opponent's next turn, prevents all the damage done to Celebi Prime by attacks from your opponent's evolved Pokemon. So you can actually prevent damage and stall a bit, but most decks run high HP basics like Reshiram, Zekrom, Mewtwo EX, and many more, so that attack won't be used that often. And Celebi Prime works best with cards that only need cardless energies to attack, like Mewtwo EX with its attack X-Ball, Tornadoes, Regigigas EX, and maybe others. And now I'll explain why starting with Celebi Prime is so good. Let us say Celebi has our active Pokemon and your opponent has 1 or 2 basics on their bench, and it's your move. You drop one of your attackers out of your deck on the bench by using Dual Ball or something like that. Heavy Ball as well could be great, or Collector, the usual Pokemon card that brings out other Pokemons. Yeah, you just give a double cardless energy to your attacker, use Celebi Prime's Poke Power and give him another energy. That way you have a total amount of 3 energies attached to your main attacker at the beginning of the game. Next, use SkyArrow Bridge or Switch, depending on what's in your hand, and then your attacker is ready to attack from turn 1. If you have Tornadoes, you can deal 80 damage. If you have Mewtwo EX, you can deal 60 damage. Regigigas can deal 80 damage on your first turn as well, so it's a pretty good deck. So you can actually say that Tornadoes is the best attacker to start a match, but that's not always the case. It always depends on which deck you're up against. If you're up against something like Lightning Pokemon, like Thunderdome, aka Magnezone Electric, then Tornadoes isn't the best choice. But yeah, with speed like that, you can easily knock out some Pokemon and go for cheap prizes with Catcher. And then you can also put in some tech cards together with the all-new Prism Energy, and you got yourself a nice deck that came out of Next Destinies. I still need to test this deck out a bit more because I already had a battle against it where you can see some strategies, how the deck works. So you can check that out if you haven't already. And that's about it for this week's deck analysis. Now let's go straight to Poke News. To start off, the team decks of Next Destinies are already out. You can get them at your local shop where they sell Pokemon cards. And you can also see that there are nice Pokemon in the decks. They have the Explosive Edge deck, which comes with 2 Reshirams as well as a Chandelure line, and some nice trainers like Sillin, Heavy Ball, SkyArrow Bridge, and the good stuff like that. And Voltage Vortex is the other deck that comes with 2 Zekrom, a Luxury line, and some nice trainers as well. So they aren't that bad for people that are just getting into the game because they come with the really playable dragons, aka Zekrom and Reshiram. And while I'm talking about dragon Pokemon, let's go straight to the next thing on my list for Poke News. Yep, the new dragon type cards. Yep, the first dragons from the 5th Japanese black and white set have been revealed. We already had Dragon Selection, which was the other mini set where they had some dragons in it, but in the 5th Japanese black and white set there will also be dragons in them like Garchomp's, an Altaria, some Heydragons, and even a Roserade, which isn't the dragon. So the new Japanese set will be nice as well. So let us check out the first card first. It has Garchomp, the one and only from Diamond and Pearl, which everyone used in the game when it got first released, like Diamond and Pearl. Garchomp was really good at that time. So it has 140 HP, which is really nice amount of HP right there. It can also deal 60 damage for a single fighting energy, and that's not all because it also has a side effect. It states choose 1 special energy card attached to the defending Pokemon and discard it. So this has got to be one of the best attacks for a single energy because there will be so many special energies in play, like Prism Energy, Double Cardless Energy, other energies like that, Rescue Energy. There are many special energies, and even with the upcoming Dark Pokemon, Special Darkness energies will be discarded as well. well, so it's a really good attack, and a second attack isn't bad as well. For a water and a fighting energy, you can deal 100 damage, so that's a massive, but you have to discard the top 2 cards from your deck, and this card is actually really playable because it only has 1 retreat cost, so maybe the dragons aren't as bad as we first thought. Now to the next one, Altaria. This one is from the Hoenn region, and it only has 70 HP, which is really weak for a stage 1. Remember, Triumphant with 120 HP for a stage 1, or even Steelix 140, and this one only has 70 HP, which is just way too low, and it only deals 40 damage, and his attack cost is just ridiculous. It needs water energy, metal energy, and a colorless energy, and it only deals 40 damage. Nevertheless, this card could be a nice stack card. Yeah, you heard me right, because of its wicked ability. It states, as long as this Pokemon is in play, even if it's on your bench, all attacks of your dragons deal 20 more damage. This is just perfect for Garchomp. Can you imagine it? The second turn, Garchomp out and dealing 80 damage with a good side effect as well. Yeah, me too. These dragons rock. Rock the dragon. Anyway, I don't know if anyone gets that joke, but let's go on to the next one. Hey Dragon. This one has an attack that deals 140 damage, and it also has 150 HP, so we can't complain. Yep, it can knock out Magnezone Primes, it's Typhlosion Primes, no sweat, but it needs 4 energies for that, so maybe it isn't that good, and you also have to discard 2 Darkness energies after you use the attack, so it needs some strategy when you plan to use it, and that's where Dark Patch comes in, because it's an item card from Dark Reg, another Japanese set, which lets you attach a Darkness energy from your discard pile to one of your benched Pokemon. Wait, how the hell does this work? Well, we want to attach the energy to Heydragon, but he does have an ability which states, as often as you like, during your turn you may choose a Darkness energy that is attached to one of your Pokemon and attach it to Heydragon, which means if you use something like Juniper, discarding some Darkness energies that way, and use Dark Patch in your turn, you can get 140 damage each turn. So I'm quite excited for these new Dragon Pokemon, but of course I'm also really excited for our next English set, which is Next Destinies. It'll come out February 8th. I'm sure you already know the date when it comes out because I mentioned it so many times in each episode. So aside to that, let's go on to another card, another Heydragon, and well, this one isn't that good compared to the other one, so let's go straight to the next one. Roserade. This Pokemon isn't the dragon Pokemon, so the next Japanese set, the 5th one, won't be all about dragons, and yeah, this Pokemon has an ability, but it hasn't been translated that correctly yet, so we'll have to wait how it turns out, but it has the ability to search something when you evolve into Roserade. And now let's go on to another one. It's Garchomp, the second Garchomp of that set, and this one isn't as good as the other one as well, but it has free retreat, so maybe we can run something like a Garchomp line with both versions of the Garchomps. And now to the pre-evolution of Garchomp, which is Gabite. Yeah, this one also has an ability. Yep, a second form with an ability. Sounds familiar? Yep, Electric is also a stage 1 with the ability, but his ability was incredibly good. It helped many decks out, but is this ability as good as that one from Electric? Well, it isn't actually that good, but if you're playing with dragons in your deck, it will definitely help you. It states you may use this ability once during your turn, even if you have multiple Gabites out, you can only use it once, and you may search your deck for any dragon Pokemon and put it directly in your hand, so it can bring out dragons out of your deck, which is really helpful for evolutions, and that's why I'm sure many people will play Garchomp. And the last card on my list is Ninetales, but this one hasn't been translated as well. We just know how the ability is called. It's called Bright Look, which resembles the ability or the Pokepower and the pass from Luxray GL Level X, which was pretty good, and maybe Trainer Lock decks will be afraid of this card because it just like a catcher, you can just switch around the active Pokemon of your opponent, so it'll be pretty good. It's a nice stack card to work against Trainer Lock, and that pretty much wraps it up for this episode. Once again, if you enjoyed the video, click the thumbs up, I always appreciate that, and if you have any questions, thoughts, or epic new ideas, feel free to let me know. And for those of you that haven't subscribed yet, I suggest you do, because my Next Destinies booster box will be here soon, and there'll be an epic video about that, so look out for that, as well as more episodes each week, battle videos as well. So yeah, anyway, this was ZapdosTCG, thanks again for watching, and till next time.